is up? Your boy's back. This is another one I was supposed to break down for you guys, and I had like a little bit of a theory on when I after I listened to it a few times. This is American Dreams. I'm basically going to be kind of skipping around, to avoid that good old copyright, because that will happen. But I have a theory that the process in which this song is done by each artist, which you have Jeezy first, Cole second, and Kendrick Lamar last, it's the process of the dream itself, right? One, like Jeezy's verse is the dream. Cole's verse is like the reality, right? And then at the end of like the reality, when reality hits you, you eventually have to say, okay, no matter what the situation is, I got to make something happen. That's when I go over to Kendrick Lamar's verse. It's kind of like you were dreaming, reality hits you. Now it's kind of like dire straits. Something got to happen. You get what I'm saying? That's how I kind of figured the way they set this song up. Well, that's why I think it's done the way it's done. It's done that way for a reason. Not like, hey man, mail in the verse, blah, blah, blah. More like, this is what I'm going for this song. And each one of them delivered perfectly for the way that I believe the direction of the song was. So, we'll get into it. I'm going to skip around, like I said, because YouTube is killing on the copyright. American Dream, baby. You either good or you're great. You're the real or you're fake. That's why I spit the real, so the real ones relate. What Jeezy's saying here is basically there either is or isn't. You either will or you won't. You either are or you are not. Basically, in today's time, we have developed this little thing where it's like you got this point and this point, but there's so much shit in between. Jeezy's basically taking that shit in between out and saying this or that. That's the way it works. Okay? There's nothing else in between that. In today's society, they have created a lot of in-between marks because people want to fit wherever they want to fit. I swear those tricks get so tricky. I'm glad I didn't fall for the bait. What he's talking about is women. The tricks, they get so tricky. I'm glad I didn't fall for the bait. He's talking about women catching dudes up with the money. He's saying, go ahead and face it. Ain't nothing about me's basic. I think that's more of a shot at how people talk about what Jeezy rhymes about, which is trapping. Dope game, basically. It's kind of like that's his lane. He kind of always stays in his lane, but he does what he does in his lane well. So if you're into that lane, he has good music for you. Y'all understood the whole president line. That goes back to his my land blows blue. My president is black. My land blows blue. He had a song on one of his albums. Recession? Could be. I could be mixing it up. I haven't heard it since like 10 years ago. But he says that, my president is black, my Lambo's blue. So that's kind of a reference from that track to this track. Then he's talking about the new president being whack, which, opinions. And then Jeezy verse to me is the embodiment of the dream. The dream is to have the cars and the Raris and the estate and all this different type of stuff, yada, yada, yada. So I got money to make. Basically, I got things to do. I got cake to, basically I cut off a piece of the cake, piece of the pie. But he used cake reference. and put it on plate basically for myself. You know what I'm saying? You're running in place. He's running things while you're running in place. Like, you know, basically letting you know he does his thing. Basically, the thought process he had is so far ahead and also so molded by wisdom that he's a 30-something-year-old, but really he's like as wise and old as a 100-and-something-year-old. Like in the late 90s, my niggas are struggling weight, running for state to state, gunning away for safety. The pun bar is talking about pun's weight. He's talking about how his homies actually handle weight like Big Pun. Basically, how Big Pun carried his weight, how big he was, so forth and so on. I'm on a paper chase, whatever it takes to make me a millionaire. Silly, cause how many really get there? I mean, how many niggas is Jeezy? Y'all make this shit sound so easy. He's saying that how silly, because how many people actually get to those dreams that they rap about? How many dudes actually get it? You know what I'm saying? That's why he said, how many of you niggas is really Jeezy? Like, how many of you all are really like a T.I.? How many of y'all are really like these guys that were trapping at one point in their lives? Now they have the things after all the years that they really rap about. Breezy, turn on the TV, see these niggas that trap on the CD. Meanwhile, see these niggas that trap on the CD. Basically turns on the TV and all you do is see TV trappers. He's talking about how people turn on their TV and all they see is TV trappers. They whip it up with stir fry. They do all this different type of stuff. But it's all for TV. They take all that shit off after the cameras is off and they go home. Back home, my niggas are cracking the BP, hoping one day they can beat these niggas is there on the screen, cause that's the American dream. Now here go the thing, listen. See, he's saying the dudes who really sell the stuff are aspiring to be like the people who are trapping on CDs that they see on the TV. Cause stare at the screens coming from mothers that bury the kings, or the unbearable pain of watching them walk out with the sheriff and chains. Saying that the mothers are watching their children being shot and locked up because they are trying to inspire. They are doing something to try to inspire like someone who's only doing it for TV. Becoming the number, they no longer care about their name. Become with the number, they're numb, they no longer care about their names. What he's saying is eventually starts happening so much, you start thinking it's part of the process. You get what I'm saying? So they become numb to the feeling because it's happening to so many moms out there. Kind of like what we talked about on the King Los track. White folks been getting rich off of cocaine through some underhanded methods. I don't got time to explain. I'm the fear that I won't reach him, and since preaching ain't my thing. Now he's saying that white people getting rich off of cocaine through some underhanded methods. Basically, there's a lot of people who deal with cocaine. In fact, as you can see, he said off of cocaine. He didn't say crack. There is a street code. Cocaine is mainly rich man's drug, white man's drug. Crack is more a minority drug. You know what I'm saying? What I have seen, and I'm just saying what I have seen, that stigma has been true, and from what I have seen with my own two eyes. White people deal with cocaine, black people deal with crack, which is just a broken down, watered down version of cocaine. He also talked about not preaching. You get these so-called people who like, I don't like this person because he's preachy. I don't like this artist because he's preachy. Like, you hear that, and it's basically some people don't want to correct their actions in life. Okay, we have to deal with it, and they have the internet now, so they're gonna say, oh, so and so's too preachy. So and so's always preaching something. yada yada yada, they don't want to actually take the message in, right? Or they're like, that's fake woke or fake deep or something like that, when depths have many levels to it. But it just shows their own ignorance. So he goes in and saying that I just drop a gem or two in the verses that I sing, because only the real ones are going to catch it, and it's for them anyways. It's not for the ones who, you know, are not about or not needing to learn this lesson. So we get into Kendrick Lamar's verse, right? As you can see, J. Cole just broke up the reality of what the dream chasing is. So while Jeezy is talking about the dream, having all that stuff, having all those things, you have Cole over here showing you the reality of what really happens to like 90% of these people who do this dream. Now we're finna get into Kendrick's part. Now he starts off, these streets are made for ballin'. So, this world is made for ballin', 10 toes ain't for falling. I hear the world calling, tell me if you all in. He's about to show you, when it comes down to the dire straits, like you being about it, you know what I'm saying? You can make something happen in the streets, you can make something for yourself. Are you really about it though? So this is what I mean by he's the dude who now has been faced with the reality of the dream. He has to make something out of his reality. So Jeezy dream, Cole reality. Like this is the reality of what I was trying to achieve, which was what I was dreaming about. And now you have Kendrick Lamar, who is the man of dire straits, like back against the wall. So I got to make at least some type of thing happen. I gotta eat, I gotta make money with, I gotta feed, I gotta read. I on what is known to the traveling man. Stays on with my Bible and my rifle in my hand. Oh yeah. And the Bible and rifle means spiritual protection, physical protection against whatever comes your way. Against invisible enemies, physical enemies. He has both. I think that was a perfect way to end that song. To let you know, you got to get something. I got to eat. I got to feast. I'm going to make something happen. So to me, this is perfect. The way the song was put together. It seems like that's a subject matter put together and they planned it that way. But then again, I could just be thinking too deep on it. That happens at times. So you guys let me know down in the comment section. I'm trying to get these breakdowns done. done. You all let me know. Do you think I'm just overthinking it? Or do you see kind of what I'm talking about with the song itself? Anyway, your boy is Nixon.